the question is, can I get? Are we?
Starting February 23rd, 2024. 4,100 a month. Which that would be an easier one. You could have flex taken over.
I think you could have. This goes there.
I know.
Okay.
Joe wants.
Yeah.
In the expensive room.
Yeah.
Can you help?
I mean, I don't know what help can be had. The stream looks fine. Facebook's not. I guess we're fucking trying.
Try connecting to the other network.
I mean, I have tried to connect into
Okay.
another network, but that doesn't. Oh, yeah. Please update if yours. I mean, I'm just gonna have to try.
The original network is different than the ones that I set up.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're gonna try it, and then I'm gonna rage at the internet in about 30 minutes. Okay, let's shut that door. Are we good to go on your end?
Is Lucy
At the very no, Lucy's gonna stay out.
That's
All right.
touch the thing. It's not gonna go.
What?
It's gonna hit the tripod.
Oh. Okay. One day. Post details. All right, we are going to try this. All right, go in. Maybe. Okay. Maybe we're good. Hopefully. All right, we're gonna go live in 3, 2, 1, and.
Welcome to No Contingencies, a real estate live show with no filters, no BS, and no safety nets. This is episode 22 of our show.
That is correct.
Woohoo! We are now on the air. I'm Liz Ryan.
Parker Pemberton.
Oh, me? I'm Nicholas Warpole. Wait, I'm here, Nicholas Warpole.
Every time you kill me. And our guest today is our very esteemed and world-renowned general counsel and local rock star lead singer, Ed Kaiser. Help us welcome Ed to the show. Where's the applause, Nick? Come on.
It's a packed house.
I know, yeah. That was like World Cup level. That was impressive.
The band didn't get that much applause.
Oh, I bet you didn't. Okay, let's start there. Tell us about your rock and roll career in all of its variations.
Oh, rock and roll career. I guess played music most of my life, like piano and violin, and at one point I was playing trombone or something like that.
Ooh.
And then I had some friends in like 8th, 7th, 8th grade say, let's start a band. So I think I brought the trombone to a pawn shop and traded in for a bass guitar. And that was the start of my musical career, and taught myself to play guitar and everything else. And then I got in high school and then college. We played with some bands, played with some really fun competitions and stuff. And,
Really?
Yeah, and then law school and life and career and all that stuff. And took a little hiatus, and I'm bringing it back.
And then you got boring.
Then I got boring.
Actually, I was an oboist. You might even have me beat for weird instruments.
Oboe and trombone. You two are the coolest.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, in your most recent rock and roll venture, what was your role in the band made up of some Pemberton and Associates?
Yeah, so Jeff Nobleza reached out to me and he said, hey, do you know anybody who can sing like early 90s rock and roll? And I was like, yeah, me. And And that was, I mean, and then so we got together and we played, practice a bunch, and I think we got a lot of rust to, beat,
To shake off.
To shake off,
Mm-hmm.
but it was fun. It was good to get back and just get into that rhythm again.
Pun intended.
Yeah. To just play a
love
little
it.
bit. So,
That's great.
Yeah.
Nick needs the airplay passcode 9066. Nick. Okay. I mean, that is, of course, my favorite part of your story. But give us the rest of your origin story. How did you end up in real estate law? And why don't you go a step back? Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Grew up in the wilds of northern Minnesota, Duluth, Minnesota, which is I don't know. It's a place like everybody likes. Oh, I love Duluth, but like not a lot of people. I mean, people like are up there, stay there, and then I don't know. It's cold. It's just a very.
It's cold.
It's like but I had fond memories growing up there, but
Yeah.
I'm happy to be down here now. But anyway, grew up in Duluth. Spent my whole childhood there. Went to college in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. That's where I met my wife. We then got married and went to law school in St. Paul at William Mitchell, and thought for a hot minute there that I was going to be a prosecutor, that I was going to, be in the courtroom and put bad guys in jail. And I tried that for like 15 seconds, and I was like, nope, I'm good there. And after I graduated, the first job I got out of law school as a lawyer was for Menards in their corporate office in their real estate division. So really for the first, not quite a year of my career, I was doing purchase and sale agreements and commercial leasing and site development stuff, and traveling down to Missouri and looking at, basically bulldozing a neighborhood and turning it into a site. And yeah, it was just like really high level real estate transaction work or whatever, just a very early part of my career. And then once you get good at something, it's kind of hard not to keep going with that.
Stick with it.
Yeah.
When you were doing that with Menards, were you part of a team or were you just solo Ed the lawyer?
No, I'm part of a team. There was a number of attorneys, but also some of them were former attorneys, and others were just people in and around the real estate world that were, again, Menards at the time was really trying to massively expand their footprint across the United States. So they were their fleet was, people were hopping on planes and flying all over the place to Wyoming and Kentucky and Ohio and then of course like locally stuff in Wisconsin and Minnesota as well. So it was a whole thing. I had a big challenge with there's a Menards on University Avenue in St. Paul, and there's a train that goes under sort of a bridge, and it was when they were putting in that light rail, there was a problem with this bridge that it couldn't go low enough, and it was a huge problem for the foundational structure for that building. So
Oh my
it was
gosh.
it's just fun stuff that you get to deal with, the problems you get to try to solve or whatever when
Ed,
When you work for Menards.
Ed,
I
can
wanna
you
go-
tell? Oh, sorry, Parker.
Go ahead.
Can you tell us who the rock stars of the legal world are? And this is you as well, Liz. Is it the prosecutors or is it the Menards guys?
Neither. I think it's like the civil litigators. It's the big firm people downtown who are really involved in the in the legal business community. So the people who have their names on the law firms and stuff like that because they're schmoozing and they're marketing themselves and everything else. Like, since I spend all my time in the real estate world, I really don't actually fraternize with any other lawyers except for.
I think they probably played the oboe, is what he's trying to say. Right?
You're a rock star to me, Ed. Sorry, Parker. Carry on.
I was trapped in an elevator with TSR time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We had a 20-second conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
About
It was awkward.
marketing.
Yeah, it was awkward. Well, I told him how I felt about attorneys, so.
No.
But
Careful, you are outnumbered in
I
this
know,
room,
I was
my
going to
friend.
comment on that. It's
Yeah,
so
don't
funny.
do it.
I'm locked in a room with 2 attorneys right now.
I know.
Uh,
We're going to trap you with our
and
words.
I absolutely, I want to get back to that because there's several talking points there. But Ed, I'm curious, at what point in your life did you acknowledge or get the idea that you wanted to go into law?
In reality, it was after I graduated and I was spending 6 months being a bank teller and had a young child at home, and I was like, well, this is not a career for me. And I got, but I was, in reality, I was in undergrad, I was an English major, and that was just because I loved, and I still do. Love to read and love to write. And so it's just two things that I was immediately passionate about, immediately wanted to do, and then kind of as you start thinking about what do careers look like in that world, like law school was kind of a logical step as long as I got to continue to do that. So
But
I actually
what
like,
age?
loved law school. Was it
What age? Yeah.
Probably 22.
Okay. Later. What did you want to be when you grew up? When you were a kid?
After all the being a professional football player and all that stuff, it stopped being a thing. And I had a while that I wanted to be a firefighter.
Classic.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I think like in reality, and like in college when I was being an English major, I just wanted to be a writer. I just wanted to find a way to kind of just find my own kind of path and get in an RV and go Jack Kerouac on everybody and just live off the grid or something, or at least that's what I thought. And I also think for a while I did also want to try to be a professional musician or something like that.
Sure.
But I wasn't that talented. I knew that about myself.
It's
Oh,
interesting.
man.
I mean,
I'm a
there's
great bar band kind of performer. That's all.
I mean, it's a huge commitment to do what both of you guys did, right? From a time and just educational and cost perspective. But, I was thinking back to when I was a kid, and my first memory of like what I wanted to be when I grew up was when I was 7. I wanted to be a veterinarian,
Of course.
which explains why I just did triple bypass on one of my chickens last night.
Wait, what?
Just making sure you're paying
Are they
attention.
still
You
around?
buried the lead there.
Just making sure you're paying attention. Normally, families or parents or some influences hammering that on you, like you need to be a doctor, you need to be an attorney, you need to be like it's not the path you took. You took the path of self-discovery based on life experience, in the 20s.
Yeah, I mean, my parents are both educators, and that's sort of all I ever knew. And they had a frank, and I think I was on that path to being one as well. But they kind of just sat me down and said, "I don't know if you want to do this. Being a teacher is hard. And they, I think the rewards of being a teacher who was a teacher when they were teaching everything else is different from what it is now. And so they just, I could have very easily just followed that profession too, and that's one of the things I do love to do. I love to teach and everything
Yeah.
else.
So this incorporates a lot of the different skill sets and things that you naturally like.
Right, exactly. And I think I don't think I would be happy being one of those downtown Minneapolis, just being a lawyer, kind of all because you don't get to do the things that actually bring me a lot of joy and fulfillment and stuff like that, which is the teaching and the being creative and all the other stuff.
Costumes sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that tracks 100%. Okay, so Menards, then how did you make the jump from that into this real estate agent kind of world?
When I was at Menards, I got the job to go to Edina Realty and be in their in-house counsel, and that was great for a lot of reasons. I was driving actually from St. Paul to Eau Claire every day, which is 90 miles there and back to be in their corporate office and everything else. So we were either going to move to there and start our lives there, or stay in the Twin Cities, and it just worked out. So then I was at Edina Realty for 10 years, I think, in total.
Wow.
8 years in their legal department, 2 years as as one of their managing brokers, office managers, sales managers, and then I went from there to Remax Results. I was their general counsel for 5 years, and then I got here. So it was pretty early on. Within maybe a little more than a year of becoming licensed and everything else, I had landed in this world, and then once you're here, it's like there's no going back.
Yeah.
So that was 2010 and 11.
Sounds right. Or I want to say maybe 2011 to 12. If I'm thinking right, because you pass. I think I graduated from law school early in 2.5 years in January 2010. But then
Sick brag.
Then you don't take the bar exam until the spring. So by the time you get your license, it's
Fall.
It's like summer or whatever. And I think it's so 11 to 12, something like that. Yeah.
Side question I have to ask though, both of you, what did you guys get on your ACT?
Not answering that in a podcast.
I got a 28.
Ooh. You want to do like above, below type thing, Liz? You strike me as a 30 plus.
Yeah. And we're gonna leave it at that.
Liz, you gotta be like. So what's a good score?
It was like 40 years ago. Okay,
Yeah.
that's an exaggeration. I'm not that old.
What's a good score on the ACTs? What would you know?
I mean, I think
24 plus.
24, 25 is probably.
Okay, so I'm bumping in at 23, 24. Like I'm going straight down the middle. Like what's the middle? I'm going straight down the middle.
probably.
I always,
You're so funny.
well, where do I want to take this, right?
See,
I
he
don't
would.
know.
I think he would have a real hard time. They don't tell you how you scored on the bar exam. They just tell you if you passed or you failed.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's this thing that it's a 2 or 3 day exam. It's no picnic. It's very
It's
difficult.
painful. It is writing straight for 3 days.
And you spend all this time and you get done and you're like, okay, did I pass or not? And then you pass and you're just like great, but you're like, I want to know, and they will not tell you. So it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's a thing that you'll just never really know about yourself. Is like, okay, how good
did
was
I do?
You know?
You know, that's how I found out about my real estate license.
Oh my god.
Because normally you don't find out; they mail it to you, right?
Yeah.
I took it on my 30th birthday, and I drove out to Hudson, and I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like in an old building, like the DMV that you would walk, like the Apple Valley
Dad, are
DMV.
we streaming this in the
Just
office?
a nasty building, right?
Oh.
And you walk in there and just it's dead quiet,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be terrible. But anyway, it was my 30th birthday, and it was either gonna be a great day or it was gonna be a terrible day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went up to the glass, and they had like bulletproof glass, and I was like, hey, it's my birthday, I need to know what I got on the test. He's like, sorry sir, we'll mail you the results. And I said, no, I don't think you understand, I need to know today. And maybe a couple more back and forths, and he slid something through the little hole. I'm like, what are we at the Target Center?
Mhm.
Like, and it said passed. And we just basically like did a head nod,
Yeah.
That's so.
acknowledging it. I think he could see in my eyes.
Yeah. You're just really like.
You're crazy.
He knew I was like coming through the ceiling tiles.
Right.
I'm
I
not
just-
gonna let you leave you alone.
I had to know. But on a more serious note, though,
Oh.
15 years in real estate as an attorney,
Mhm.
as a broker. You know, we were just talking about this morning in our meeting, how fast the internet came at us and how fast AI is coming at us now. I know it's a big question, but I am curious from your perspective. How much has that changed the role that you've served over those 15 years?
That's a really good question. Just because I'm thinking back over my career and the kind of the 3 places that I've just been, and you know, I would certainly categorize my time at Edina Realty that was definitely where I was learning so much about, again, this business and how to be an in-house counsel and just how to be an attorney, like and
Yeah.
do this well. And then also, of course, like learning about everything I could about the real estate contract world. And then when I went to results, I think that was my opportunity to like really learn how do I now lead as the company's general counsel instead of just a member of the team, and kind of really just come into my own in that respect. And then I feel like just timing wise, when I came here, it's been, okay, how do I do this now in the world of AI? Because it just feels like it really has kicked in on a different level. I mean, just randomly, like I don't really remember when I was at my previous company having to like debate somebody who's had a GPT behind them writing letters back and forth.
Mhm.
Right.
It was dealing with humans, and I feel like now I'm just doing that constantly, and I'm dealing with or helping an agent navigate a situation with a consumer who's like asking all this advice of a GPT, and they're giving them really bad, weird, you know, and suddenly now it's more than ever. I feel like it's the importance of like, you know, utilizing your actual wisdom and experience. You don't need to be correct. I mean, we can talk all day. We don't need to be like technically precise with some of this stuff. It's just about like, okay, big picture, what does this actually mean for you? I had to like get involved with a situation where a consumer was like really losing it over there was an easement on a property, and they were asking the GPT all about the easement, and it was creating all these issues like, is it subservient or is it dominant, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, got him on the phone. I was like, I have never ever had to use those words before except to pass the bar exam. So like, the question is, do you care if your neighbor is going to walk up and down this path every once in a while? Well, no. Then don't
leave it
don't
alone.
let this destroy your deal, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's a tool that people are leaning into too much, and they need help to, you know, process the information, because the GPT won't do that for them.
Yeah.
It won't tell them like, yeah, that's a technical issue, but are you really gonna like let it sabotage your deal?
Practically,
You
it's
know?
not going to screw you up that much.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think it's the importance of our kind of profession, or a lot of professional professions, is leaning more into the humanity of people, because we need it more than ever, because the GPTs are stripping it away. The like, it'll have logic but not wisdom. It has it has facts but not, you know, experience or, you know, context.
100%. In this world of AI taking over everything, I think that the careers of the next 20 years will be the ones that focus on the interpersonal skills and like the things that are the exact diametric opposite of the AI stuff. Because now that the robots can do that part, then you need the people to do the other part even more than you ever did before.
Is this a moment in time when, let's say 20 years from now, we look back on this, right? Versus the last 20 years. You know, 20 years ago, you looked at the people in the trades as, you know, kind of insignificant to corporate America, right? Like being a plumber or electrician was like less honorable, I would say, than going to college and getting a 4-year degree.
Well, maybe less attractive.
Maybe, yeah. And I'm using the wrong words, which is, that's why Ed's here too, so I don't screw up. But then it flipped, and now the narrative is it's actually more beneficial to go to trade school, DCTC, and go become a plumber, because AI is never going to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Or be an electrician. And by the way, I don't know if you've hired an electrician or a plumber lately, but their hourly rate just goes up and up and up. So are we going to look back on this in 20 years and say AI was great, but you cannot replace the human interaction or the human relationship?
100%. I mean, the only place where AI is really taking over or affecting people is in the world of the digital, you know, economy that we've created, where it's involved with social media. You know, AI is not necessarily building anything or fixing anything physical. You know, we need people to do that, unless
or prompting.
You know, unless the robots. But I mean, you know, I think that's exactly right.
Can I jump in here? Because I fell down a rabbit hole last night on exactly this, and it was a very interesting conversation. But it ended up with the question of, well, okay, in this, you know, it either is a utopia or it's a nightmare. In this future where, like, a lot of the sort of entry-level so-called jobs have been taken up by AI, and like the heavy industrial stuff is also mechanized. What can you fall back on, and what can you guarantee? And the prevailing wisdom seems to be that the only thing that you can like guarantee that you will need is the interpersonal skills. Because now maybe he was name checking at 7 levels of human. Do you know what I'm talking about here?
I don't know.
Okay, we're going to
like
move
Maslow,
on.
Like
hierarchy of
needs?
The hierarchy of needs. The third level of need is like genuine interpersonal connection. And it is the case that a genuine human in front of you talking to you is the only way that you can actually get that third level of need. So if we can't fulfill that, you can't even get up the totem pole of those needs. So that thing that you have to fall back on is exactly that. It's the interpersonal skills. It's helping people feel like they are people. And I thought that was fascinating. So that just plays into what you're saying.
In 20 years from now, we're still going to have the reckoning of figuring out what is the actual financial cost and value of AI, because it's still all being subsidized and everything else, and whether or not it continues to be something that we even have access to on a regular basis to vibe code. If you're paying $500 an hour to or for per token or whatever it is to just vibe code, it's gonna be there's a different level of cost that we just don't. Maybe we already do. I mean,
No.
it hasn't. We haven't hit that point yet, and we're gonna have to actually see when
It'll happen.
when it actually happens. Is there also that where you just actually realize, okay, this is not a feasible tool for us to utilize, and it's actually cheaper just to hire a person to do it. So we have to get to that point, and we haven't got to that point. I just keep seeing in my, I don't know, watching Hulu or Disney Plus or whatever, this commercial of like it's an elderly woman having this conversation with a GPT, and it's so depressing. Like,
That's terrible.
it's just like and I feel like I have the wisdom to be like, man, that's bullshit. We're
I'm
not
not
doing
doing that. Okay, here's my real question though. How do you treat your AI engines? Are you on the camp that Nick and I are in, where we believe one day that will all rule the world? So all of this emotional capital that we're building up with Claude now, like, I'm always very polite and I say a lot of please and thank yous.
Oh.
I found myself putting a smiley face into a Claude conversation the other day, and I told my kids that, and they were mortified. Nick, you're the same as me, right?
So polite. When the machines rise up, I want to be known as someone who always said please and thank you.
See,
Well,
I'm
but
okay.
isn't the word, using the word please, like generate like how many gigawatts of compute power unnecessarily or something?
I
like
don't
that
know,
every
but
single
is it
time?
worth the risk?
Oh,
I mean,
you're not wrong. I mean,
existentially?
I haven't gotten to the point where I've gone voice mode yet. So I still
Okay, fine.
I still text with my I'm still messaging.
Are you polite?
Yeah.
Okay, Parker.
Oh yeah, I pump my AI agent's tires constantly. Say, you are so smart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you going above and beyond for me tonight. Or thanks for waking up so early to work with me. I say stuff like that.
Meanwhile, that like created like 30 gallons of like.
It motivates.
Shut up, Ed.
It motivates
You're a
it
buzzkill.
to work even harder. They're like, thank you so much for your appreciation. It just makes me want to go above and beyond. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But okay, I was falling asleep last night, and this is a legitimate question.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and this is maybe it's because my mom used to call Burlington Coat Factory Bloomington Coat Factory. It's just ingrained in my genes, along with like 20 other things that were just massively wrong. But you said vibe coding.
Yeah.
Is it vibe coding or coating?
Coding. Like you're writing code.
Okay, and is it? I don't know what that actually means. People love to use it
ahead,
because
Ed.
it makes them feel smart. Is it just prompting the engine?
I think it's when you just sort of are talking or communicating with your GPT, like, okay, I want you to create, this for me, and then it creates sort of an idea, and then you look at it and be like, okay, well, I need you to add this and this, and then so instead of you actually like writing the code, you're just having this conversation with the platform that's making it for you, and it makes it
That is correct.
highly. It's taking it out of the technical hands of the people who built that whole system, and it's just giving us to us peons who are just like,
Yeah, in simple
I
terms,
tried it once.
vibe coding is the act of creating something that needs to be coded without writing a single line of code. You are just purely creating an app or a page of internet or something like that without writing any code.
So one day
I'm going to
when
go the opposite way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because of the way that I talk to my Claude. Vibe coding. You're coding the platform in good vibes. So I'm vibe coding.
I think we just need to get some jackets that are just.
You ever
that
think
say,
about
that
that?
have they say vibe across the bat, and it's like
Yes.
we're vibe
Yeah.
coding.
Yeah.
Taking a walk in my
Man.
vibe coat.
Just
That's
show that
fantastic.
appreciation.
So one day, earlier on when I was here, I mean not early, I think it was here for a couple months, but everybody was gone. It was a Friday, and I was by myself over at the executive office, and I just had this idea, so I spent the whole day vibe coding, trying to create some sort of platform that if at the end of like a sales meeting or at the end of me teaching a class, it would pop up a QR code, and the agent would be able to scan it, and it would essentially, based on the content of the class, send them like a recap, and they'd be able to use it and post it. So I had almost all of it built, and it was an interesting experience. Like, wow, like if I actually had clever ideas, I could come up with something cool. And then I got to the very end where I was about ready to like actually try it, and I ran out of tokens, and then I was just,
that was the
that was the end of it. But it was an experience. It's like, wow, you like literally just having this conversation, it'll just tell you what you need to do, and it down to the very minimal. Like, I don't really understand what what is, DOS, like what, like it'll be like, oh, you just go to this on your,
Yes.
it explains everything to you, which is pretty incredible.
It is incredible, and at the same time, I think it's a massive distraction for most people. Most
Right.
people are spending crazy amounts of time thinking that they need to become experts in these things, and they're forgetting about what actually leads to success in real estate. And that's the dangerous side of this, because in my opinion, and I might be a little more controversial, the industry is getting worse day by day. We have 1.4 million realtors. It did not drop the last 2 years, even after NAR 2024. The skill of the realtor these days is very poor. And maybe I'm not supposed to say that, but 79% of agents licensed under NAR have not sold a house this year. So it's dangerous, because I'm starting to get people sending me emails that are just straight ChatGPT. They're not writing those emails. They're not putting their own thoughts in writing. They're throwing inspection reports through GPTs and just forwarding the results.
Right.
When you have agents doing 2 to 5 transactions a year, not really learning the critical skills of real estate, like, I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, and beyond that, like from a service perspective too, it's like if you want to show someone that you don't have any value, show them that by just saying like, well, I'm just giving all my responsibilities to this AI, so you actually don't need me. And when people can't even bother to like make a ChatGPT generated email not look like, I got one that was sent to me that said, "Dear parenthesis attorney's name parenthesis." Right. It was like, I'm like,
that is brutal.
why even bother responding? Because like there's nothing behind this. It's just it's just words, right?
I read a fantastic thing yesterday, and it was a company policy on AI writing, and this is from a tech company, and it said you can use GPTs to ideate, but you must stand behind every word that you ever send in an email, or that you ever commit to paper or digital, that you ever write down on company time. You got to be able to stand by every word. So please write it yourself. The act of writing it makes you think about it. Ideation is fine, but you got to be able to stand behind it.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going.
And then to get back to your point, it's like the key things that we do as professionals in law and real estate or anything is in those nuances and those details, and being thoughtful and how you, choosing how you communicate. Like, how do you get your offer accepted? If you just say, well, I'm just gonna have GPT send it for me, you're not calling them, you're not talking with the agent and finding out what are the things that your seller, you can get a better deal and get a better result when you perform, right? And that sort of applies in all of our walks of life. So I think that there's a room for using that as a tool, especially when it comes to like an agent trying to maybe market themselves. But when it comes to like, if this is a profession that's going to remain a profession, and I say this as a real estate agent, as a lawyer, financial advisors, anything, we have to protect the wisdom part, and the service and everything else. Otherwise,
And constantly work to get better.
Yeah.
And be more valuable to the consumer.
Right. And showing why you're valuable.
Yeah, and AI can create efficiencies in your business, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be the difference of you doing well in real estate or not. Like, it still involves the human work ethic, the human emotion, the human integrity. I think too many people are getting distracted. They think that's this new avenue of automation. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say, Ylopo was rolling out the Raya AI assistant that was going to automatically prospect for you. And boy, did that ever be one hell of a sales pitch, right?
Yeah.
What a great concept. Agent doesn't have to prospect anymore. Well, shit, you can sit on the couch. You can go golf all day. Your bot's doing your prospecting. What you didn't anticipate was the fact that the consumer doesn't want to be sold by bots, and it's very obvious when bots or automations are running.
Mm-hmm.
If you get that as a consumer right now, how do you feel?
Well, first of all, you have to it'll say this is, you have to opt in. So it's it's clearly not just a,
Someone
hey,
typing
a
a
nice,
text.
hey, how you doing? Just thinking about you. It's like robot talk, blah blah blah, right? So you're just immediately turning people off, right? And then if you're actually outsourcing that, your business is going to plummet.
Right, and I think it was a great sales pitch, and I think a lot of these things now are great sales pitches, but in the end, it doesn't replace the thing that actually works, which is you having that conversation, you doing that, you forming that relationship, you going into your communities and being the absolute expert at what you do, which is why, number one, we try to raise the standard here, but also we talk about being the lighthouse all the time.
Yeah.
Because if you're around a group of 10 people and you're providing value to those 10 people all the time, and they know you're dead serious about this and you're the best real estate agent out there, yes, they're going to use ChatGPT to look up school reports and lakeshore analysis and directional advice, but they're coming to you when the real shit happens.
Yeah.
Because they want to know they're right here with the person they trust.
Because I feel like maybe 1 out of every 5 or 6 agents that I've talked to, their origin story is something around the lines of, well, yeah, the experience that I had with the real estate agent that helped me buy my first house, I said, I can do this better.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that is going to continue to happen, especially if people say, well, all they were doing was ChatGPTing their way through a transaction. I could do that better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, let's look at the law field. I can plug a lease into Claude and say, give me the top 10 terms in a checklist. If we're suing the landlord, I can't have Claude sue the landlord. I need to hire an attorney who's going to give me real advice.
Yeah.
Who's really going to walk me.
And
And
by
that's
the way,
just one example.
yeah.
Any sort of lawsuit or dispute,
Yeah.
you're not going to AI your way out of that shit.
But and also that concept. I mean, there's things that you can say, look at this lease and tell me, or give me the red flags, and where is the AI getting those red flags from? Probably from a PowerPoint presentation that some lawyer put on, who may or may not even be associated with your line of work or anything, and they're just pulling random factoids from random places and saying, oh, okay, these are. Again, I could do a presentation, 10 common pitfalls or common contract things to worry about. I could make that up off the spot. But as a presenter, I'm just gonna probably be like, I have 10 stories I want to tell. It doesn't mean those are the 10 most important things in the lease, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most important things in the lease is the premises and the rent and the term, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who's using it. Those are the things that actually matter. The rest of it is really kind of, I mean, the details do matter. I don't want to lose my job here by telling it doesn't matter.
No.
But it's like, but what we would care about in a lease is not going to be the same as what a business running a restaurant franchise would care about the lease, because they're using the facility differently. They have a bunch of different requirements than we would. Right. But if you're just saying, what are the 10 most common things, and they're like, oh, premises liability or something like that, it's like, well, we have insurance for that. I don't really have to care about that much,
Well, I think about the value of having you here, having Cassie, the broker team here, for an agent when they run into trouble and it becomes legal, right? Agents, I don't think ever are going to go to GPTs and say, hey, help me with my legal problem, and then just figure it out on their own. When right now they can walk down the hall and talk to you. You guys are on the phones dealing with shit every single day, all the time.
Right.
And at the end of the day, think about how dangerous that is if an agent does use that and then think they can pursue something.
Yeah, because it's not always correct. I think there's always things that are wrong. Like when I've had agents consult with an AI first and then send me the hey Ed, what do you think of this? And I'll be like, well, it's like 90% correct, but this is wrong and this is not applicable in Minnesota, or whatever. But it's also like, why are they asking the question? And I will say that 9 times out of 10, there's a different underlying problem of why they're asking that question, and they're not asking the exact question that they should be asking, right? And that's why most of my conversations with our agents are not like a quick 2-minute chat. It's give me the backstory, give me the whole context, because there might be other threads that we also need to to pull on here, and none of that is applicable if you just say, do I have to disclose a murder in Minnesota in a real estate transaction? I mean, like, you can get that answer, but there's so much more in the context of like, well, what type of property and you know, all the other things that get into it a little bit more, right? And that's more of a saucier one, but I can just imagine
No,
how
it's true.
oftentimes if people are, well, I mean, I would love our agents to make sure that they're making the call to us first, just because I know we can give them better information. May not be as quick and immediately gratifying, but it's the better answer, right? And that's, you know,
It's the same as any tool where you ask something to analyze something for you. The devil is always in the details of what are the factors and what are the criteria.
Yeah.
And the less that whatever the engine is shows their work, the harder it is for someone, the professional that's supposed to be doing that job, to actually evaluate, is this the same conclusion I'd reach? It's the same reason Josh Pedersen only trusts data in an Excel spreadsheet where he knows the source of every single cell of data. And I completely understand that. Like, I need to know, if you're going to tell me here's your conclusion, I need to understand what the factors were and which things did you consider and which things did you not, and are they the same as what I would choose? I mean, that's where the expertise and the wisdom comes in.
yeah.
And
Let me give an example back to the Wailopo days. And that's a fantastic platform, by the way, but I think agents I brought it up because agents think, well, it's going to be automated. It's going to replace my prospecting. And I remember we used to have the database running through Wailopo, and it would have Raya sending the text out. We wouldn't get results. You wouldn't get responses. Maybe 1% would respond. But if I picked up the phone and I filmed a video of myself and I said, hey, I'm at my open house here at 123 Banana Street, and then I tied it to the city name, so if that lead was in Apple Valley, I'd say, hey, I'm in Apple Valley right now. You should come swing by and check it out. Almost every single time that person would respond to me.
Yeah.
Right? Now, fast forward to today, I get brokerages trying to recruit me all the time. Like, I get their automated texts, and I'm like, hey, you're trying
me
to...
too.
I got one who's
Not
like,
licensed.
congratulations on your real estate license. I'm like, well, first of all, I've been licensed since 2018, but also, why are you calling me?
Why are you calling me? Yeah. But I get those texts, and I just think to myself, if they would have just picked up the phone, I would respect them way more. You know, if the Market Center owner at Keller Williams picked up the phone rather than just kept me on an automated drip, yeah, let's have a conversation. Let's meet for coffee. Let's talk about things. You probably know what we're doing over here. You might not know what we're doing over here. Same thing with our recruiting. If we're sending out cold texts or we have AI agents spamming agents, it's actually going to go the opposite direction. It's actually going to turn them off.
Probably, not likely.
And recently, I got this list of 12 agents. Liz saw the list, so she can verify. I sent video.
Why am I always the verification step?
I sent a
Your
text
two-factor
and a video
authentication.
right after it to say, hey, like, it's actually me. This is my cell. I want to reach out to you because I want to meet. I heard you're a great agent. 12 for 12 responded. 9 out of 12 set appointments with me over the next 30 days. It is not rocket science. And my whole point with all of this is, like, I think it's just this illusion that we can automate our way out of things, and you just can't. Those 9 agents, if I like them and it works and they fit in our structure and our culture, how much GCI are they bringing into the company?
Yeah.
Right? That is, and how much time did that take me to do? It was just very simple. I want to meet with you. I've heard you're a great agent. But if you're just automating your stuff, and to any agents listening, leads are even more skeptical. Agents are easy to sell shit to.
Yeah, I've ever gotten every once in a while I get a solicitation call like, hello, Edward, I'm calling about your home in Edina, Minnesota. It's like, click.
That was good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
We're going to have you do accents
Reminds me of
more
that
often.
radio commercial, the roofers.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
the second you're like, you don't know me, you're done. Like, you're like it's not a real communication. It's nothing against Southern people. I mean, I love
No,
Southern
that
people.
part was just fun.
I mean, I hate all people with all weird accents, just to be clear. But
We're out here knocking on doors in Minneapolis. That's the commercial you're talking about. I remember that one. Yeah, and also, get out of here with that accent.
I love when
Slander.
Dick does the U.S. accent.
You know
That's
why?
do you know that he sat down next to me at a conference room and for about 10 minutes, and he thought I was you the whole time, and he looked over, he's like,
Parker,
I did. yesterday.
Because I was wearing like a sweater and a hat.
I was gonna say, Ed's got more hair than I do.
And man, was I laser focused.
He was. He gave it. He was just. But you and I have similar bone structure, I think.
We also are the same sort of, I think, energy. We're like, talk too much, and we, when you're on legal, you're focused when you're on legal stuff, and that's great. But when you're not on legal stuff like me,
we're just a potted plant.
The point and I, we're romancing. I'm gonna take 5 minutes to get to my point, and everyone's like, come on.
Well, I guess my point in all that is it's gonna be great. There's so many great uses for it, but also there's so many terrible uses for it that I think a lot of people are gonna look back and say, man, I wasted a lot of time doing those things. And it's just automation's not gonna replace things. But one of the positives I'll share today, I mean, this is open with our company. Liz spearheaded this. So I had this idea of, and a lot of the things that I come up with, and side note, by the way, Claude is great for idea people.
It is.
Right?
Fantastic.
Everything that I'm trying to do is remove the friction in real estate. Remove the friction that the agent has to go through so they can spend their time doing things that are more meaningful towards their business or their life. And turning in a transaction, even up to last year, you had to physically take that transaction and walk it to the front desk or submit it through a form and get all the information in. And Liz just literally she set her mind to it, a transaction submission form for our entire brokerage where an agent can literally drop their purchase agreement document into this link, and it takes all the pertinent info out of that link, creates a submission form, and sends it to the transaction team.
Yeah.
So it cut down on, I'm not exaggerating, 10 to 15 minutes per transaction of manual entry and jumping back and forth to PDFs and grabbing lender names and title names, and it put it all in one spot. And I think you can do that in under 60 seconds. So that's a great example of an efficiency where AI significantly helped the company, because now the staff gets more time, the agent gets more time, the company gets more time.
And because we have the ability to do that, that also allows me to get more creative with our forms and things, because without that, if we were to make some changes to the forms, then when we have to go through like the third party loan wolves and and use the existing infrastructure, and there'd always be roadblocks, which is why for so long everybody's, I think in a lot of the industry has just sort of like succumbed to, well, this is just the way we always have done it. Mm-hmm. And now we have this ability to like break free from those molds. Mm-hmm. And this is where like I get to have a lot of fun of like, okay, just how do we make our contractual documents and everything else more efficient and easier to use, and just because we're not shackled by that infrastructure anymore. And so I'm right with you. Like, I feel like that's my calling right now, is like, how do I, without changing how our agents do it, how do I make our tools that we use, the contractual tools, better for us? Because a lot of the other brokers won't do that because, they always have done it this way, or they might they might have an older demographic of agents that doesn't want to change. But where we're here, it's a blank canvas, and we can paint however we want.
I always say it's harder to turn the Titanic than a speedboat, right? Mm-hmm. And we're not a speedboat. We're more like
I guess like an 18-foot yacht.
I think we're more like a double-decker Allen Alma. What is that? Allen Alma's?
Yeah.
Minnetonka.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You can still turn pretty quick, but we're not small. We're not huge, and that's the thing. We're not franchised. We're not owned by anybody else. If we want to do something like what you just described, we do it. Mm-hmm. And I love that, and I think you guys love that too. We don't have layers of compliance and have to go, and we don't have 80,000 agents that if you make one tiny change, it disrupts the whole company.
Because if you've built it up all around these things, it's like the Jenga piece. You start pulling one thing out and it kind of collapse down at you. But when we are building this and growing it, and we know what the foundations are, it's kind of easier to make a lot more changes.
That's exactly right. We have a ton more flexibility. I think things like vibe coding and give us a ton more flexibility to build things the way we want, and then to insert the contractual forms we want. But I think it actually all comes full circle, and it comes back to your original point of it's not an easy button. We were able to create that system because the transaction submission system you're talking about, we've spent years perfecting our transaction coordination process. So we know what we need to see. We know where we can pull different parts of information. That system derives from several different sources. It pulls from the contract documents. It has to know which contract documents supersede which ones. It pulls from follow-up boss, and it knows how to look for that. It pulls some information from the agent's records. So it's a little bit of like garbage in, garbage out. I mean, if you sat down and tried to vibe code something and said, I want to turn in a transaction form and I want it to be easy and cool for my agent, period, like AI is not going to magically give it all those things that require all the information and the experience and the knowledge. So yes, AI is a fantastic tool in that regard, but only if you are providing the value pieces to it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it helps you work more efficiently.
Yeah, and the easy button it's so true. But what better industry to sell the easy button to?
Oh my God, yes.
It's an industry that's known for jumping on platforms for a month or two and then dropping off.
Absolutely.
Subscription base or default rates of these massive tech companies are in the 70-80%. But also it plays to human nature, because who wouldn't want an easy button? Like, hey Liz, let's sit on the golf course together and let our AI bot prospect for us, and we're just going to have a magical huge business.
Well,
Think
and
of
here's
how
the thing.
unrealistic that is.
It's not even that I don't want to work and I want to instead golf and have my AI do it for me. I think it's even further back than that. It's that the things that a real estate agent needs to do the most are those really tough interpersonal vulnerable things where you invite rejection all the time. Like if I could have an easy button where I didn't have to have somebody hang up on me on the other end, hell yeah, I'd do it. But that's not the reality of a sales job.
Yes, and the incredible opportunity we have right now in this, bubble of what we're just talking about, distraction, AI, all this, is the ones that actually show up and are genuine and are making the calls, doing what I did the other day.
Yeah.
Like if the owners of the companies are out there making personal phone calls to agents with personal details, asking them to meet, versus sitting back and allowing all of this other stuff to happen, or just not doing it. Think about how much more market share we're going to take in the next 2 years or 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah.
We're going to leapfrog people because we're doing the hard work right now when everyone else wants the easy button.
Everyone else, people are not hungry, are going to get complacent, and then they're going to well, the people who haven't already built in those daily non-negotiable habits or whatever that they built their entire career, those that are just going to sort of start coasting are going to get overtaken, not by the AI, but by the people, the agents that are just,
Yes.
hungrier and just making the phone calls. Like it's going to actually be the opposite of what I think everyone is trying to sell, which is that the AIs are going to build your business. It's actually the old school grunt work that's going to do it.
Yeah, and I don't think that'll ever change. Do I think people will buy houses using AI only? Yes. But I think it'll be similar to for sale by owners.
Yeah.
Single digit percentages.
Yeah.
People are worried about AI is going to replace the agents. Honestly, yeah, some of the transactions, and if you're selling a rental or an investment property or, an open door transaction, sure, AI can do that, but you're still under 10% market share.
Well, and if you as an agent are not providing more to someone than they could get from
Yes.
a chat GPT, then you should be replaced by AI.
Did you know
Yes.
that when they first came up with elevators, people were afraid to ride the elevator because they didn't trust the machinery, so that's why they had people standing in the elevator pushing the buttons for them.
Oh my gosh.
It took an entire generation of people just to learn to be comfortable enough with an elevator. I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh yeah, AI, here's $750,000. Go.
Buy me a house.
I mean, Carvana and like these they haven't taken over. People still want to
No.
go. Like you wanted big purchases. I mean, it's one thing to book your own vacation. It's another thing to,
And we
make
still
huge
have
investments.
we still have stairs, because fundamentally stairs can't fail, like something with moving parts, or there is still the most basic form still absolutely fundamental.
Thanks for bringing that up. I have to amend the Parker quote, done makes more money than perfect, to include elevators, to exclude elevators. I got stuck on an elevator at the Edina Mall like the actual mall.
Like Southdale?
Yes, and Kathy
There's
and
like 2
Charlie.
floors there.
Kathy and Charlie and Parker and Harrison were separated.
Strollers.
There's 2 floors. I know we had a stroller, and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, elevators are one of those things you can't have mistakes in. Surgeries, doctors,
Yeah.
say lawsuits. You can like buy your way out of some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Brian Fish got stuck in an elevator in Chicago. I know, it's very scary stuff.
You know, we have an elevator here.
Yeah, I would
It's
don't go in it,
it's
guys.
constant problem.
Don't.
It's a money.
It smells
pit.
like ramen noodles.
We might as well have like a 50-gallon bucket outside and we just toss cash into it every day, because that's what an elevator is.
Okay.
Is that no? I just because I was in college, I stayed in a dorm that was very tall, and I probably got stuck in an elevator like 60 times in my collegiate career, because like if 2 people jumped at the same time, it was gonna be broken. And so I was just gonna say, like, being caught in an elevator is just like a
Doesn't
ho-hum
scare you.
event for me at
Yeah,
this point.
that goes along with the whole Batman persona.
But I was not separated from my children. That's a little bit different.
Womp womp. At least you had some quiet time.
I
don't know.
was gonna Hulk my way out of that thing. I just didn't know. We were in there for like probably 5-6 minutes.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I don't think I would deal very well with that. Hey, we are way over time, but let's conclude with this. Here's what I want you to answer me, Ed. Finish this sentence, agents. You should probably call Ed when. ...
Whenever you need to. I mean, honestly, like, don't hesitate to call me and reach out. I don't think that there are any, reasons not to call, especially if you're thinking about asking a GPT. That's when you call me.
We have there's agents in this marketplace, lots of agents in this marketplace that call Ed all the time with questions.
Yeah.
Some of them are not even with this company.
Excellent.
Other people I've still worked with will still call me sometimes. So.
I love it. Well, we are, of course, so grateful that you were here with us today, but also so grateful that you are with our company. I think the value that you provide to our agents is phenomenal, and Parker and I appreciate working with you too.
We're gonna have to run this back for a second.
We have to do a follow-up. I think that's like an annual thing.
Hey, it's our Halloween podcast.
We
There you go.
were Nick and I were texting, and we had some
We're on
funny
it.
ideas. Actually, hey, we could right here, Nick, the glass window.
Oh,
This would
yeah.
work.
The one-way glass.
The one-way glass. This would work.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I'm game for whatever, as you well know.
I actually appreciate the acting chops that you have.
Parker had some. Oh, thank you.
Like,
We were good.
yeah, I know. I was like, okay,
I mean,
I'm in the right place.
I
here,
was
you know?
the worst.
You are in the
I was
right
the
place.
worst in the group. I thought, but
you did pretty well, Parker. Honestly, I think all of us were just shocked as hell that you were willing to get in the Superman.
I can't believe I was just like, hey, we do this skit, and you were just like, we're doing this, like no hesitation. I was like, I'm in the right place. I
I'm
found my
home.
people.
we needed to actually do more of that. That's fun, but we're too,
Everyone,
too
did you hear
busy.
that? Nick, did you hear that? I
Yeah,
heard that.
I mean, I hear everything.
That's a false line.
I hear everything.
Oh my God. All right, friends, that is it for today's episode of No Contingencies. If you got value from this conversation, take a second to share it with another agent who's serious about growing in this market. And if you're looking for a brokerage that's forward thinking, accountability driven, and built for the next chapter, we should talk. Thanks for listening.